It has been a long and bloody year since the end of the Great War. While the Emperor has claimed victory, the peace that so many heroes gave their lives for has not settled on the lands. The hordes of chaos, though leaderless, continue to taint the northlands of the Empire. Vicious warriors attack merchant caravans and raid isolated farms and villages. The Emperor's battle-weary soldiers patrol the forests and hills, ever vigilant against bloodthirsty warbands intent on looting and slaughter.
Alright everybody, welcome to another episode of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition through Blades and Blasters. If you enjoy this campaign and want to see other campaigns like it, go ahead and hit the bell, like and subscribe to Blades and Blasters YouTube. We're going to go ahead and get started here. As before, my players are Raven as Morgutt, Sim as KRUGER, DANISH as DORATHI, and Aki as Reikwald. And we're going to go ahead and start this session with a handout for everyone. Everyone see it?
Yep.
All right.
Give me
The
just
Reikwald Forest... oh, what's going on?
Sorry. Music's broken. Let me just close this one. Unmute that. And refresh real quick. Sorry for the trouble.
That's right.
Should work now. Nope, it's just broken. Okay.
Let me try to restart the song.
Ah, there we go.
Good? Okay.
Yep.
Alright. The Reikwald Forest carries its shares of dangers. Dangerous beasts, wicked mutants, and hoofed horrors prowl the ancient woods. Our party decided to take on a bit of mercenary work as each of them find their footing in an unfamiliar city. Katzenberg Lumbering Company offered the contract to the four newcomers to resolve whatever shipping issue plagued their trade routes. As a lot of them made their way along the road, rough-looking men stalked the trees and made to stand in their path. So, last time, as we discussed a bit, I believe it was Dorthil and Reikwald both noticed men in the trees slinking about, then exposed themselves, took note. Dorthil recognizes one of them as a man he dueled. Their leader posed the question of, basically, since you took my man's ear, what are you going to do to make this right? And that's where we left off, so you may take it away.
I'll look to him and say, well, I guess I'll be making it right by taking his other ear now. And if you don't like that, just piss off, otherwise I'm going to feed you to me ogre.
Morgutt rubs his stomach.
Oh, he's mighty hungry by the looks of it, so I'd be suggesting you just move back to where you came from.
Well, how about instead of that, I'll feed him more steel? And rasp of blades come from all around, and we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So roll initiative.
Cool. Yeah, Reikwald looks a little bit taken aback, but it escalated immediately and kind of pulls his dagger and kind of takes a step back a little bit. Or sword, actually, I think he has. Yeah.
Yeah, KRUGER is not amused now.
Is it initiative or initiative com?
I think initiative combat should be what it is.
Yes. I think mine worked either way last
Perfect.
time.
Alright, I'll do theirs.
Did it not add mine together?
Because
it looks like I
see.
Because that doesn't make sense.
Reikwald, no.
Oh, unless I rolled like a
I think you
2.
rolled.
It must have been a 2.
Yeah, you rolled
Okay, I
poorly.
was gonna
as well.
say.
Yep, 2 plus, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a low roll. Dorthil, you are first.
Okay, so... There's a food right there, so... You're gonna charge that dude, right?
I believe you can. Should be a handout for charging. Let's see. I'll just look at it. I believe you can. Yes.
Oh, are we doing the weapon length rule? I just saw that as well.
I was gonna keep it simple.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if I can, we'll run up to Pokey Poke.
Just bringing it up quickly here for charging, because I know there's some... It's charging headlong into battle gives you +1 advantage, so... Charging.
Okay.
Yes, so if you charge reaction must be a melee test to attack opponents within at least your move characteristic, but within your run range. In yards.
Run.
Okay. At least your move up to your run. So that's between your up to, yes, I think that's your move range is 4. And then your run would be like double that, I believe.
Okay, move is 5. All right,
5. So you can run at him.
all right. Right up to him, and we'll take a stab at him.
So it'll give you 1 advantage, and that would give you a +10 on your attack, your test. So
Oh damn!
is that even with the +10?
Yeah.
Okay, it is. Okay. Wow. All right. So he will try to dodge. Oh my. So you succeeded on a test. That's another advantage going forward. Go ahead and roll your damage. Or actually, yeah, I mean, just to see what it is. So it's plus strength bonus plus 4. So it's 5 plus, what's your strength? 3, 4?
Ring. 3.
3. Looking like 12. right now. Into the leg.
That was for the damp. That second roll is the first one going to his head.
Yes. Actually, flips would be. I think it'd still be a leg because it's 0-7, so flip 7-0 should be.
Oh yeah.
Leg again still. So 5. Yeah, 12, and into the leg. So you cut him up pretty terribly here. Go ahead and describe what that looks like. It's not dead. He's very hurt.
So I look over to the guy and I just say, by the time we're done with you, you're not going to have any men to take back with you. And I just pull out my rapier and charge right towards this dude and just stab him to the hilt. His right leg. Pull it out, whip the blood off, and get a devious grin on my face.
And you rip this clean, and there's a fine red circle forming around his leg there. Bandits, I believe. We'll go off him then. He will, stumbling, try to take a swing back with a rough-looking blade.
Oh, it's all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can choose to defend if you want to, but I don't think it really matters. He swings and just kind of clumsily cuts a low-hanging branch off the tree to your right, or to your left there. This bandit becomes rather bold and charges the ogre. And he will get 1 advantage for charging. Morgutt, you can try to defend it, dodge out of the way if you want.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Not so much.
God, don't crush us.
Yeah, it could be bad.
God, fucking 99 as well, shit.
Roll D100, Morgutt.
Oh my. Rolls 100. Huh?
This does not apply to you, I don't think. Do you have knuckle dusters? Or you just have your bare hands?
Yeah. Knuckle duster.
So it slightly breaks. So he comes across your knuckle dusters and messes them up a bit, so they're going to be a little bit closer to breaking. I'm not sure what the durability on knuckle dusters are, but you notice a crack forming in the knuckle dusters. Will say he hit you towards bite, caught like your left hand. But so that would be, he gets another level of success for advantage, or he gets another advantage for succeeding, and he will do 6 damage before armor and toughness. So I think he does like 1. I'm not sure how much body armor you have, if any.
Yep, 1 for the armor and 4 for toughness.
All that for a drop of blood. So that's, yeah, he kind of brings the rusty, like, it's a very rusty sword across, and just more damage done to your knuckle dusters than anything.
Morgan is offended.
This bandit charges at Reikwald.
No, I did nothing. I don't deserve this.
And gets 1 advantage.
Uh-oh.
Let's keep it consistent. And
I got a good feeling about this.
do you?
I do.
This is the one with the missing ear, by the way.
What do I do, dodge?
You can dodge or attempt to parry.
What's the
Whichever
difference?
one.
Sorry.
One could be better than the other. You might have a higher skill
Yeah, I
rating with
think I have
parry if you're
super
trained in
sick
it.
dodge, so I'll do that.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to apply the 20. Oh wait, it's combat. We don't apply it, do we?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh, what's going on, Kruger?
Nothing. This is coming at the no 20. It's gonna be rough.
So he succeeds by 1. Let's see. That last attack might have actually done more damage, because it's plus success level on top of damage. So he actually give yourself 2 more. I forgot to add.
Oh,
It's a 2 more
Christ.
damage, Morgan. So he beat you by 1 success level. He'll get another advantage tick, and you are gonna take 7 damage to the body. It's reduced by armor and toughness.
That's not good.
So he comes up and slices you across the chest.
Let me see. What can I... Let me double check something real quick. Is Fortune or Fate... Which one is the quick spend one? Fate or Fortune?
I believe Fortune is the one that, because Fate's the big spend where it's permanent. I think
Oh, okay.
Fortune's the quick spend one.
Yeah,
and if
I
anybody
see.
spent, it should be replenished now. If anyone spent any last session.
Oh, okay. So if I had +1 success level, I'd be out of the way, or I'd still be hit?
If you matched his successes, I believe Ty would go to defender. Or no, if you match his successes, let me see. I believe a matched test. It's just a success with no additional success levels. Yeah. So I think you actually had to beat him in tests. That's my understanding of it. It's whoever scores the highest SL. So let me see. Does it say anything about same?
So you know what? I am gonna actually spend 1 to re-roll my test, I think. Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? Nah. Because he rolled pretty well. It'd be tough to proper beat that.
Danish, I also added an additional advantage to you because he made a test and failed, you succeeded, and I was just looking at it here. Since he failed, you actually gain another advantage. So,
Where do I mark damage? Sorry.
so there's there'll be a 0 in your red
Oh, okay, cool.
circle, and you just mark that.
And he dealt 7? Yeah.
7 minus armor and toughness. So whatever your toughness is,
Okay.
overall, and then minus your armor. I think you have 3 armor, so you would do 4.
Oh, okay, I see.
Or
Yep.
three defenses total.
Yeah, because I have 2 toughness and 1 armor. Yeah.
It's a next roll advantage, Danish, because so the way it worked was since he attacked you and you defended when you technically defended successfully, he couldn't have hit you anyway. He failed. Yeah. Next time we will roll 4, but I'm just gonna give it because I don't think you would have failed the defense. Last one sees KRUGER slinking around in the back and will charge him as well. And on advantage, we'll swing.
Yes, and KRUGER will die.
Okay. Yep, go ahead. Even if they fail, you roll anyway, because you could succeed in the test. So I mean, he failed to hit you, so technically you won the test, I believe. Yeah, that's how that works.
What do I get for winning the test here?
He loses all advantage and you gain 1 advantage. Alright. Yeah, you can. You can go ahead and throw the dodge in, Danish. Yeah, so easy. Okay, then it's the big boss man. He also sees an ogre and isn't keen on having to deal with that too long, so he sprints at the ogre with his sword and is going to get advantage for charging. And it swings his weapon. So you can try to dodge Morgutt, or I don't know how you would parry with knuckle dusters, but if
I jumped the gun and rolled the dodge before you
oh, okay.
rolled the attack.
Let's see.
So
Difference.
for the damage, since it's the success levels, is your success level just what you rolled, or the combination of your roll and the target? So
So the way it works, it's the success levels of your opposed test and add it to the weapon damage. So because he got 2.
so if he succeeds with 2 success, right? But Morgutt's -3, would that be a total of 5 then, or?
Not from what I'm reading here. What it
Okay.
looks like is that work out how much damage you deal. Each weapon has a weapon damage characteristic. Take the SL of your opposed test and add it to the weapon damage of the weapon you're
Okay,
using.
cool.
So I think you actually should have taken. No. Yeah.
No,
you
no,
should've-
yeah, it sounds like it's
differences,
just your
yeah.
test, not.
Yeah, so it should have been maybe an additional point of damage, I guess, for you then. Yeah, because it was 2 success levels for him. Yeah, it's damage equals weapon damage plus SL. So 7, 9 damage. What it looks like Morgutt before armor and toughness. So I think 4. And he succeeded, so he gets advantage as well. Alright. KRUGER.
Okay, so attacked. Guess he'll try to stab at the guy with his dagger.
Pretty good.
Pretty nice.
He will try to parry. He fails to do so. So you'll get, and did you account for your advantage in that roll?
Negative.
So you would actually have 4 success levels then, because you've got plus 10 from your advantage. So you get another advantage for succeeding the test, and you're going to stab him in the arm. 3, 4, 5, 9 damage to his arm.
Not too bad.
Describe how that looks when you dagger this man.
So after the guy comes up and stabs at him, KRUGER quickly kind of moves and brings his dagger out from his sleeve area and gives him a stick as he sidesteps a little bit. And he kind of just smiles at him a little bit and and doesn't say nothing yet because he's not gonna get cocky.
Another thing I want to bring up as well, it's possible for both people to fail and someone still get hit. So it's highest SL, actually, highest successful wins regardless. So there is a reason to roll. I was wondering why you would roll dodge if they failed. It's because you can fail worse and still get hit, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So, I guess you do less damage in that case.
God, this makes me want to play Blood Bowl. Just like, oh yeah, if you fail worse than they fail, you're fucked.
Yeah. Morgutt's turn.
And Morgutt will punch the leader.
Alright, roll the punch.
Punchy, punchy. God, that plus 20 is going to be rough, though.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. He could still fail worse. You could also use fortune if you wanted to. He will roll his skill.
So then, is that with the advantage?
That's not with the advantage. It'd be 60 that he's rolling against. He's gonna get another point of advantage there. Keep in mind you do get plus 10 to hit Morgutt because he is smaller than you. So make sure. I think that might be plugged in. I'm not sure.
It is not.
Okay, so make sure you account for that because sometimes you might fight so it's bigger or not, so I didn't plug it in auto, but it would have been rolling against a 51, so it wouldn't have failed as bad. But he would have had 5 success levels with his dodge or with his parry.
And so, what does a fortune spend?
Reroll.
It would allow you to reroll
Or plus
attack.
1 success level.
Yeah.
But I think in this case he rolled so well that it probably wouldn't necessarily be worth it.
Yeah.
Like the odds of you
You'd
beating
be
a
trying to
12 or-
roll.
well,
You'd be trying to
yeah,
basically roll
11.
in 1 digits and critically. I mean, you could critically succeed him, but you're banking on a lot to do that.
Yeah. And depending on how many fate points you get, not necessarily.
So that is your turn, I think. Fortunately, punch hits air. Reikwald.
So, I see you can use your skills and stuff to get a tactical advantage. Would that take up my action, or could I, like, do a maneuver type situation, like try and roll around behind one of these guys? Or like a cheap shot type thing.
Let me see.
Like, if
what
I were
that
to, like,
becomes.
say, try, like, an acrobatics or, like, something similar to, like, get behind this guy and get a better angle.
I would make you test for it. I would count it
Well,
as
yeah.
your movement.
Okay, cool. So it would be, like, rolled into it as, like, the movement test, or, yeah, the test.
Yeah.
It takes up my move, and then I can still attack, or?
Yes, I'll give it to you. So what I would basically do here is if you succeeded this test, because it's a combat test, I would give you an advantage, basically. I wouldn't remove his because he hasn't failed,
exactly.
but I would give you
Okay.
one advantage.
So yeah, so Reikwald is he's got this guy over here, which he's not too fond of being close to 2 enemies. And this guy's already swung and hit him. He doesn't want to be, like, right in his line of sight. So Reikwald kind of tucks in low as if he's going for a blow, but feints and actually tries to roll just past him to get around. So I guess that would be athletics, yes?
Acrobatics, or acrobatics or athletics.
I don't think there is an acrobatics, actually, looking at
I
it.
think advanced, but it's fine. Athletics is good. So athletics versus perception. He's going to try it be against his awareness of what you're trying to do.
Okay.
And actually, I am going to... So he's going to get
The plus 20, right?
his advantage, yeah, because it is a combat roll. But if he fails, I actually am going to remove it because it's still a combat roll. And if he fails,
Sick.
he fails it. So
That's good. Oh no. I'm probably gonna reroll that. Oh, well. Shit. Yeah, so he's not having it.
no,
So I assume I
used-
move still, but don't get any kind of advantage?
Yeah, I mean, you can move, but he's actually going to get another for succeeding and preparing for your
Yeah.
fate.
Yeah, so Reikwald kind of rolls around and goes up for him, but the guy manages to kind of pivot as Reikwald will go up for a blow. Is that just the sword, or do I need to roll weapon skill?
You can roll the sword, and it should be built in for your weapon skill.
Oh my god, I'm rolling butts. I might re-roll this one instead. I wasn't gonna bother rolling when he got a fucking 2, so let's see what he gets. Oh, okay, so that means I hit, right? Because he rolled so much worse.
You would, yeah. He fumbles, and well, let's see a success, because it's difference in success level. So technically, he doesn't get hit, but he does fumble.
You know what?
You notice how his success level is -2 versus your -3. Technically, he failed.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend a fortune to re-roll.
Okay.
As Reikwald, this guy fucks up, and Reikwald gets a very lucky shot, and hopefully
Double fumble.
hopefully not. Oh, that's much better.
Yes, so you will hit him. Let me roll his fumble. You can work that in. That's not good. So he loses he's going to lose all advantage if he failed the test.
Then
You're going to get 1 advantage for succeeding. He also stumbles a bit from your strike, and he's going to take a -10 on his next action, in fact. So describe how that looks as you...
Yeah, so Reikwald does the roll, but the guy pivots enough that he's not able to get a much better angle. But as this guy goes to defend, there's actually one of the stones underneath his foot was actually loose on the ground, and it kind of comes up underneath his foot, and he almost twists his ankle as he kind of stumbles down, and Reikwald brings his sword up quite hard up across his arm lengthwise, and then kind of dips back ready to go in for another blow.
So I think it's 9 in the body minus toughness. So you bloody him up very badly.
Nice.
And we're back at the top.
God, I can't wait till I can increase my weapon skill.
It is 9.
Dude's in front of me. Let's see. Can I attack twice? Attack him.
You cut in and out a bit there, I'm sorry.
Sorry, can I attack twice, or is it just attacking?
I believe you can only attack once unless there's like a talent or something for it.
As far as I can tell,
Like if you have 2 weapons, I believe you can, but...
Well, I do have a dagger and a rapier.
Same time. Do you have like a 2-weapon attack talent or something like that?
I do.
I think you need to have 2-weapon... Let's see.
sounds like it.
Yeah, you need to have a dual... It's like what it says for that is that you need to have a dual wielder talent. I think there are other talents which will let you attack multiple times, but typically you can only attack once a turn.
Okay. That's fine. This dude, then, I'm going to pokey poke again, since here. Yeah. I'm hopefully either take off his leg or maybe get rid of him, so.
Plus 30 for your advantage.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
It's pretty good.
Is that with the plus 30?
No.
So you... Oh my god.
I was gonna say. So that's
That's,
90. 6 out of
didn't-
90, right?
you might have accidentally put 3 instead of 30. I think it's
Oh,
plus
yeah,
10.
yeah.
Yeah, so 6 over 9, so it's 90. So that is gonna be, if it hits, that's 9 success levels. So that'd be 16. So he's gonna have to succeed. I don't even think he can, but he'll try to. We'll throw
He gets a
roll it
1.
for the sake of it. No, not even if you got a 1, because success level difference of 5, it's still more than enough to kill him. So how do you end this man through the body? Apparently?
So, as I flick the blood off from the previous time, I look back to the bandit leader and I say, "Oh, you're about to lose one here," and I just run him right through the chest, drop him, point the point of the rapier over to the bandit leader and say, I'm going to tear through every single one of these until I get you and make you pay.
Yeah, and he just looks stunned as he slumps over after the blade comes back out, falls to the ground. Let me check your eye for initiative. So 45, so you can actually go up to 4 advantage. The way that advantage is going to work, it's going to be capped by your initiative 10s digit characteristic. That's how it says here. Advantage has an upper level equal to each character's initiative bonus. That's your 10s digit in your initiative. So because Danish DORATHI has 4, you can get up to 4 advantage in a fight, which is plus 40. So that's where you're at right now from succeeding that combat test.
Just need one more then.
Yeah, and then to make sure everybody keeps remembers that, I'll check to make sure, but it'd be whatever's in your eye.
Yep.
For
Yeah, I'm 1 away. I've got 39.
Just to keep it from getting too crazy most of the time, because if you could have some really,
20 advantage, yeah.
Yeah, as you can see, it does snowball a bit if you succeed.
It's pretty strong, yeah. But then again, one little fuck up, one crit
and
fail.
it's all gone.
Oh my god.
Bandits.
I do have a movement. Can I charge this dude here?
You can move into him, yes.
Okay. Or do I want to, I guess, how many squares is this dude over here? Make sure that KRUGER's taken care of, because I think MORGUTT can more than take care of himself. Yeah, I'll get up that guy's grill.
Alright. Bandits. The one on MORGUTT first. He's gonna continue to swing at MORGUTT.
Don't get hit. Oh no. That's only one though. Oh no.
So he does hit. It's gonna be for... Oh, that's off the wrong guy. No, so their swords are 6. So he'd do 7 before armor and toughness. I think that's only 2.
Yep.
He does hit you again, rusty, miserable little sword that he has. Next bandit. The one... So this one is the -10 one. He's caught between KRUGER and Reikwald. He's going to swing at Reikwald because Reikwald was the last one that attacked him.
Is there any kind of flanking bonus?
There is an outnumbering. There is that guy down there, though. So KRUGER's not really posing a threat to him.
It's like Blood Bowl. Okay. Yeah, it's like we got one here, one here, one here. Yeah.
So roll in response to make sure you don't fail worse.
Dodge.
Your 10 advantage does count. You
Ooh,
do succeed, so you'll get another point of advantage.
Nice.
And this last one. So this last one, he is getting outnumbered. Let me see what it does for him offensively. I think it might only be when he's being attacked, just when it comes into play. Well, I'll double check. Overwhelming, plus 20 to hit. Yeah, so it's only when you're attacking them they can still fight apparently without any negatives. So he will. His focus was on KRUGER, and KRUGER just stabbed him, so he's going to try to go at you again. KRUGER, you did get your plus 20 to your defense.
Alright, well, I'll do the... I'm gonna do the dodge.
Okay. He would hit you. That's with your... Oh wait, that's not with your plus 20,
It'd be 40, 53.
So you'd actually succeed. You'd fail by 1 less than him. Because he fails. So you get, what's your... It should be around 30. Yes, so you can get up to 3 advantage, and you do cap out here the 3rd one because you succeeded in that test. He flails and misses again. Bandit leader, He's going to continue pressing on Morgutt with his weapon. Oh my.
Oh fuck.
So roll your defense, but
Shit.
just don't
Don't
fail
roll
worse
on.
than him. That's pretty good.
Hey.
So he's gonna lose all his advantage. He's gonna also fumble. That's not good. For the critical, let me see if there's anything specific for critical defense. Nothing built in. So he stumbles. So he actually. Oh wait, no. He drops his weapon. He misses his next action. So he's swung and dropped his weapon. Either he clanged against his. I think we'll say his sword hit his allies and knocked it from his hand. I'm going to give you an immediate counterattack for the critical. You can use your. It's not going to cost you any action on your next turn. You can use your advantage as well. So it'll be plus 10.
Nice.
And then also another plus 10 because he's a manlet compared to you. Plus 20 for your counter.
Okay, and Morgutt has a talent, Infighter.
Mm-hmm. And what does that talent do?
Here, I'll dump it into the Roll20 chat. That you interpret. I don't know if the plus 10 applies or not.
Oh, I think that's if we're using the long weapon or the length thing.
If you guys want to use it, we certainly can. I believe you would be in range. Let me see what infighting is. I don't know if you have to get a grapple first for that or not. Let me see. Infighting. And that's page 297. You have knuckle dusters.
Yes.
As an action, you can perform an opposed melee test to attempt to step inside your opponent's weapon length. The winner chooses if combat continues as normal or as infighting. Yeah, you can do that, and then it'll count as an improvise. You can basically it's you getting so close up to this guy that he can't like use his blade. He has to like pommel you and shit. So yeah, you can if you'd like to do that instead. I'd give you your plus 10 advantage, and then if you're able to get into him, if you succeed in the test, you get advantage, and he'd basically be trying to hit you with his fist. It wouldn't count as shit. He wouldn't really be doing that much damage to you.
Well, he dropped the sword this time, so we'll go for the attack, but we may keep that on tap for future use.
Okay. That's really good, actually. Yeah. We can start using length. It wouldn't have mattered in this particular.
And Morgutt misses the counterattack.
He may fail worse. We'll see, because it's a three difference. So, he can't really parry with his blade as he does not have it. So he'll go off his dodge. You hit him. So it's going to be with a bit less damage, I believe. I think it goes off your success levels since you have -3. So it's so for knuckle dusters, it's strength plus. Let me see. I believe it should be just 3 damage, but let me double check to make sure on that. Damaging. A damaging weapon can use the higher score from either the unit's die or the success levels to determine the damage caused from a successful hit. any sense. Oh no, it does. Never mind. Knuckle dusters. Success levels plus strength bonus plus 2. So yours, Morgutt, should be 4
This is a 4. Right.
plus 2. So it'd be 3. It'd be 3 after subtracting success. So it's not a clean hit, but it is a hit. It does basically nick him as he's kind of backstepping here.
That's okay. Soften him up a little.
Yeah, get him ready for the pummeling. KRUGER.
Alright, he's gonna stick the guy again. So the 30, right? Plus 30?
Correct. Actually, it's going to be plus 50 for a couple reasons. So you've got 3 advantage, and then you're also outnumbering. So the advantage is plus 30. The outnumbering is plus 20.
Awesome.
So
No
it's plus
complaints here.
50.
Well then, at least it's not a critical.
You do have fortune. It is bad.
You could use a This might be the time to use a fortune.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and use the fortune.
I mean, it depends. If he, let's see his dodge first, I guess.
Well, you're gonna fumble. You might still hit him,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you might fumbling can be really bad.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is
the
a
dice
fumble
are not-
failure, isn't it?
The dice are not friendly tonight.
Yeah, we'll be using the fortune.
Good idea.
So,
All right, so go ahead and mark 1 off for what's spent right now. Just remember that you mark it that you spent it, and then you can re-roll.
Just don't roll worse.
I don't know if he can.
I mean, we'll see. You never know.
You
always
can't,
roll
you
100.
can't do much worse than a fumble.
So everything's still the same, right?
Yeah, it's the exact same roll. Yep.
Hey, there you go.
That's a dart.
Oh, wrong button, but still.
It would still be. I mean, it'd be 5 levels of success because I think you'd be at 94 instead of 99. But
Yeah.
it's still 3 plus 2, 5. It's 10 damage if it hits. Before we look at the difference here, so let's do his roll to defend. Basic. 3. So it's different. 3. No, it goes off your success level. I keep getting that messed up. So it's 10 damage. Minus armor toughness. You do kill him. You stab him in the body. How does it look?
So when he makes his swing at KRUGER and again dodges it, he just closes in and just starts stabbing him repeatedly, kind of frantically, right in the midsection, as you know, almost looks like he's hugging him, and he just keeps stabbing him over and over again. And then when his body drops, he looks down and realizes that he just killed him. With a little shock in his face.
All right. Morgutt.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and punch again.
Alright.
Morgutt does the old big wind up with the right hand and then jabs with the left.
Ooh, clever. All right, plus 10 for advantage, plus 10 because he's smaller.
Yahoo!
Pretty good. Try to defend.
Unless the dice want to fuck you over. Yeah. But you
so
still got more.
you still get him. So you're gonna get another point of advantage. 2. Morgutt has only 9 initiatives, so he can only ever have 1 advantage. Never mind.
What?
But you do hit him, and that would be 9, I believe. But so it's 9 as is. But because they're damaging, you can take the unit's number to help you determine damage. So you could take the 6 from your 36.
Well, we might as well do that.
Absolutely. So 12 to the body. Earn toughness. So you hear something snap in there. He's still standing, but he looks winded. So describe how that looks as you kind of break something inside this man's body, undoubtedly.
Well, like I said, MORGUTT does the big loopy wind up with the right, and then the body blow with the left. Here's something crack, just grins.
Yeah, his rush of air is kind of backstepping as he's grabbing his chest. Reikwald.
So athletics is just any general physical ability activity. What would be like the kind of like sleight of hand type skill? Would that be stealth? Or?
I think there actually is a sleight of hand.
Oh, there is. Oh. Okay, it didn't show up in my sheet, so I didn't realize. Okay, weird. So, that's why. I was just looking at basic skills. That explains it. Okay, yeah. So, Reikwald is. Do I have the bonus for outnumber now, or?
I would say so.
Okay, yeah. Reikwald is nonetheless kind of leaving nothing to chance, as he's going to kind of go for like almost a jump up to here, as this guy's kind of stumbled and still not really regained himself quite. Reikwald is going to pretty much go this way as if he's going to kind of run off around the tree. But then instead of like continuing on past the tree, he dips back around it with a thrust with the blade, pretty much. So I want to try and get another advantage with athletics if possible.
Sure.
Alrighty. And this has my bonuses? Yeah.
This has your advantages, yes, not the surround.
Not the,
it's not
the
attack.
yeah. Cool. There we go. Sweet.
Alright, go ahead and give yourself another advantage.
Yep, so
And
he rushes forward past the tree as if he's gonna, try and encircle, but then dips right around and brings the thrust up high right towards his throat. As this is with plus 50 total, right?
Yes.
Cool.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
So it succeeds, so yours would be 11. That will kill him. How does that look?
Yeah, so he kind of dips around and brings the blade up high, and it kind of catches the guy's throat, and as the guy goes up and reaches and the blood is spurting out from between his fingers, Reikwald just brings the blade up again, sort of a hand-and-a-half sword, kind of both hands on it, and brings it down in a slash across his torso and leaves the guy scrabbling at his neck as he bleeds out all over the place.
Alright, I'm going to test something for these men. Not feeling it. Wow, okay, it's a bold man. Alright.
Ballsy son of a bitch.
Back
Makes
to the
sense.
top.
He charged a
Yeah.
fucking ogre.
Yeah.
All right. So is this the dude that is missing the ear?
No, that was the one I just killed.
He's actually dead.
Okay.
You might have caught in the peripheral that Reikwald skewered his neck.
All right. Well then, I'm going to. I'm going to step up here. Then I'm going to do against the bandit leader. I think
You get your plus 40. Oh, you're faint. Okay. Are you trained? You may make a feint for your action. Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that
Okay.
for your action, and you get your plus 40 for it as well. It's a combat action. Wow.
Oh my.
Okay. And then he opposes it with a... Well, he doesn't have his sword in his hand.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's going to be with his brawling, which is about the same. I mean, can he even do it? Melee test? Yeah, it's opposed melee, so he can do it with brawling. As weird as that's going to be. Yeah, fails. On a critical, I'll let you make the attack as well, even though that would normally be your action.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'm going to poke him.
So you add you had 3 success levels worth? Is that what it is for the feint?
Yeah, if I win and I attack the same opponent, then I may add the success levels of my attack.
Oh, so plus 30.
So that's plus 70 then, basically. I think with success levels.
So this, I think, prompts that.
I think it's just a static 3 success levels to the
Is
attack,
it?
right? That's what it
You may
sounds
add
like.
the SL.
No,
as
I
your
read
feint.
that.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, you've already got 3 then, so let's see what happens.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Right.
I'll roll
9
it,
success
but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Man. Brutal.
But he's very dead though, because that's 9 plus... That's 16?
Shit.
So,
Oh,
yes.
fuck.
You can describe that one.
Okay, so as I come up behind Morgutt, I look over to him and I said, "You had your chance to run, love. I'm sorry." And I just take my rapier and run it right up his arm, right into his chest. He gasps. I say, "Oh, shh, no, darling. You're gonna have to just nap now."
Yeah, there's a gurgle as he's skewered on the blade and flails a bit. This last bandit sees the situation deteriorating rapidly, and it's going to make to run away.
Poor boy. He
he's
doesn't
going to
know.
attempt to disengage. Let me see for disengagement.
Is our movement in tiles, I assume?
Yes, it's 1-to-1.
Cool.
Disengage. If you're engaged, if you have more advantage than your opponent, you can easily maneuver yourself beyond reach. If you choose to drop your advantage, you can move away from your opponent without penalty. So he's going to drop all advantage, as he has an advantage over Morgutt in that respect, and he's going to make his full run towards the trees. So running, I believe, is... Let's see. $12 if you have movement 3, which he does, so... Oh, he can just book it. Yeah,
Although, how much is his movement?
Huh?
I was just curious how much his movement is.
So for his movement would be 3, but he can, since he can drop all advantage and run, so he can break away for free by sacrificing advantage and just escape.
Yeah, I mean run total, because Reikwald has 16 run,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, if this guy has less than 16, I can like possibly close on him. Like in one almost.
You could. I would say he's fleeing. So let me see what rules there are for that.
Yeah, Reinwald's normally not about, you know, he doesn't like the thuggish style. He doesn't smash and grab. He doesn't kill people, usually. But if they come in and fucking slash him up first, then they're free game.
We'll say, because you do have to move through people here, I'll let you make an athletics test at a -10, just because there's a lot of people in the way, and if you pass it, you'll catch him. Otherwise, he's just going to disappear into the woods.
Cool. Yeah. Reinwald sees money trying to flee from him, and he's not happy about it, given the fact that he's already got a rather nasty gash across his chest from the other one, as he attempts to close on this guy and, with the hand-and-a-half sword, kind of sweep the leg and kind of go for the guy's tendons. Aw, nope. Although, actually...
Roll D100.
Actually, I'm gonna use...
that.
I'm gonna use a fortune real quick.
Okay.
And see if I can make this.
There
we go. That's more like it.
That's with -10?
Yep, with -10. I have 53 normally.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can catch him and kill him.
Yep, so Reinwald kind of charges after him, and he's, like, closing pretty well, and then it looks like he's about to fall. He kind of, similar to the other guy, kind of, the rock comes up from under his foot on the loose kind of mossy ground. And he actually, like, loses grip of his blade, but he was just about on the guy by then. And the blade kind of runs through the back of the guy's leg, pinning him to the ground. Reinwald takes the chance to kind of close on him, kind of push him to the ground, and rip the blade free and kind of just to the back of the neck and finish him off. A huffed pant from him over there, off on his own, as he starts kind of dragging the guy back over.
Alright, and that will end the combat. The would-be robbers are all dead, and you can all do as you will at this point.
Reinwald kind of panting, out of breath a bit. Well, I didn't plan on things going quite so violently, but, well, seeing as they started it.
Well, they tried to finish it, let's say that. Yeah, you got a good amount of leg on you there, Gold.
Well, it does well to be fast, especially if you have to maneuver the wood, I suppose.
Hey.
KRUGER, as he's bending down, searching the bandit box. So whose friends are these?
Well, given the sound of the conversation, he looks to DORATHI as he kind of finally cuts his gaze as he reaches down to the guy he dragged back and starts kind of looking him over, checking for coin, pulls the guy's blade out and kind of inspects it and such.
Yeah, that me. Well, I made a few friends when I entered the dueling competition.
So losers then?
Oh yeah, definitely that one with the ear. Tried to tell him to just take it out, leave, walk away, but still he got it all up in his ass about it. So here we are.
Yes, here we are indeed. They couldn't be more reasonable.
Well, you know, I tried to give them the option and I gestured at everyone. You all saw, right?
I suppose. Though, run away or die isn't exactly, well, negotiating.
With this sort, you don't really quite have an option other than to tell them like it is.
I suppose you're not wrong. Well, let's see what they have. No point in wasting any of their gear.
Exactly.
Yeah, Reinwald continues checking through the coin purse of this guy, kind of digging through for anything of value.
Roll a d50.
D50. Actually, isn't there a looting or something similar?
Let me check.
I don't think so, actually.
If it's an advanced skill, maybe.
It might be an advanced. I don't think I have it. No. Okay, so D100.
I'll be looking in the bandit captain. This dude that I stabbed over there.
So from all of them, you find a total of 79 brass pennies. Not bad. That would equate to about a little over 6 silver shillings.
Cool.
Also, all told, but it's all in pennies. The leader, he doesn't have anything exceptional on him. The biggest difference is that all the other bandit swords are complete and utter garbage as far as you can tell. They're very rusted or chipped or just busted. They don't look very good. You don't even really think... I mean, you can do an appraise, but just from one look at them, you don't think they do very well being resold.
The leader's sword.
Bandit leader's sword, right? It's a baseline sword. There's nothing really special about it, but it is better than all of the other men. In the fact that it's actually taken care of.
The rest of their stuff pretty ratty, then armor included, I assume.
Yeah. So the armor was actually shredded pretty hard on the one here. He did have a leather jack that protected his chest, but between getting punched inward by Morgutt and then stabbed, it's looking pretty rough.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Reikwald's gonna kind of take some spare cloth and stuff like that from their shirts and stuff, not wanting to waste anything. Kind of ripping it into strips. And shoving it in his pack for, you know, whatever it might be needed. And I assume they're out here. Does it seem like they might have a camp nearby or anything? Or does it seem like they might have just followed us?
Can't tell right away. You can attempt to make like a perception check with a -20 because there's nothing obvious that you can see.
Yeah, he's looking over to see if they have like water skins, stuff like that. He's like, all right, they must have.
They do have water skins. They do have. They do have like. They don't have much in the way of rations, and it doesn't look very good. Like you could call it barely edible. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can. We'll say that there are some footprints. Perhaps it rained or something, and a day passed, and there's still a bit of mud. But you do find some shoe prints that roughly match with one of their sets of boots. You could follow it away and find a small camp.
Yeah, Reikwald turns to the others. Well, I suppose we best see what else they have laying around. No point in wasting any of their gear. If they have some, perhaps some tents even, that'd be quite nice. Or a blanket.
Well, if you look what they're wearing, there's not going to be much of nothing. Man. They didn't look to be successful or whatever they did in life.
Seems like it.
Well, we can always try to take profit on it.
Nothing left behind. No point.
And yeah, like I said, I'll give 9 brass pennies to Morgutt. All right, big man, there you go. Thank you for softening them up for me.
Morgutt jingles the coins. Morgutt's pleasure. Tucks them away with his loot.
I'm sure it is, big man.
Yeah, anything in the camp?
Yeah, I don't have the screen for it, but we'll say you find, roll 1d3.
Cool.
You find 2 tents. They're not in great condition, but they're workable. You think with a little bit of thatch work they'd do better, but there are 2 tents that are there. The rest of it is, the other are just kind of really ratty, thatched hay, basically. Just maybe something they carried around and laid out to make it a little bit less worse for wear.
Hey, no more sleeping in the rain. Reikwald's happy about it.
There's also a cooking pot there.
He'll let someone else carry the cooking pot. But yeah, Reikwald will roll up one of the tents and kind of... Yeah, he's got a sack, I forgot. Yeah, he rolls it up, and seeing as he doesn't have an actual backpack to tie it onto, he'll actually shove it into the sack, and it's kind of burgeoning by this point.
Alright, well, let's take a breather here now. Due to my hastiness, I believe that some of us got hurt. Now, do you need any patching, anyone?
Yeah, Reikwald kind of looks over the wound on his chest, a decent gash, kind of pads at it in a little bit of a hiss. Well, I suppose I won't deny anything, if you're better at it than I am.
Yeah, well, let's see it here and let me look you over.
Morgutt could pack some dirt in it.
You know, if I do need your help, MORGUTT, I will definitely call on you.
Morgutt looks satisfied with that answer.
I can just imagine Reikwald and him over off to the side, like, patching him up, and meanwhile Morgutt's over there by the road just grabbing handfuls of mud and, like, rubbing it into the cuts.
Mud is good for the wounds. So you're gonna do some healing checks on these guys?
Yeah.
So yeah, whoever's getting healed, you can, let's see. I believe you can do it once per person. So let me see. Using the heal skill, yes. So healing. No one took any critical wounds, thankfully. Let me take a look at the heal skill and see what it requires you to do. It's likely going to be a plus 20 test,
Okay.
unless you have anything else, but let me
You have
see how much it
advantage.
heals. There it is, heal. Heal wounds equal to your intelligence bonus plus success level. A patient can only benefit from one heal roll after each encounter. If sterile liquids or appropriate pulses and dressings are used, no infection will develop from it. So there's no critical wounds, so no need to worry about infection. Unless you fail. If you critically fail, then someone may get an infection.
Then
but you may make
MORGUTT
heal
will
tests.
eat it.
Yes. Morgutt will have to eat whatever body part that is. So, yeah, you can go ahead and whoever you want to make tests on first, if anyone else wants. I think it's Morgutt and Reikwald were the only ones that were hurt.
Yeah, KRUGER wasn't hurt.
Okay. So, yeah, you can go ahead and test for whoever you want to test for first.
Okay, I'll do Reikwald first.
Oh no.
So,
God, you have such
intelligence
high
bonus
heal, too.
plus SL.
Do you know what? Which one's the one that lets me reroll? Is that Fate or
Fortune.
Fortune.
I will split a Fortune. Reroll that.
You would, I believe you would still heal the wounds because it would be your intelligence bonus plus SL. The only time you actually hurt somebody, is when you. Oh no, I think you do. No, you do have to succeed. Disregard. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to reroll it, you may.
Yeah, I'll do that again. 'Cause I don't want to.
You wouldn't hurt him unless you rolled really fucking bad. Like if you'd have to roll terribly. I don't even think you could do it because your int bonus is too high. But
77 on a heal.
that is good. That will heal 8, I believe.
Well,
your
Reikwald's
int is
feeling
4 or
better.
5.
I only had
5.
4.
So it'd be int plus SL, so you heal up to 9. So you could heal these full.
Yep.
Fix them right up. You can describe how that looks.
Yeah, so I will pull aside the armor. And say, oh, that looks nasty. MORGUTT, come here and poke at it a little bit. It'll make it feel better.
Are you sure that's necessary?
Who's the doctor here? You or me?
Morgutt will assist.
Just do it gentle, light caresses, that's all. And then I will slowly stitch up the gash on there while MORGUTT holds it down with some firm pressure.
Yeah, Reikwald looks uncomfortable, but watches you as you kind of sew him up with a bit of a grit to his teeth, but nonetheless, well, try not to. Never mind. All right.
Oh. Oh, don't be fighting it now. You fight it, that's how you get infected.
I can't argue that your stitches are quite fine.
All right, Morgut, big man. Did you get hurt at all? Do you need any medical care?
We're gonna have cut.
Oh, Morgut, you got now. Let's take care of it. There.
So that would be 5 plus 3, 8.
So almost completely healed.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh, I think that's everyone. KRUGER, did you get hurt at all?
You kind of look around. No, it seems like I didn't get a scratch.
Oh, you handled yourself quite well in that fight. Then, how did you manage to come about holding your own as such?
But I always lived in the woods. There's plenty of stuff to have to hold your own against others.
Always. You haven't been around people too much.
Yeah, from time to time, I make my way into town, but I try to avoid trouble. However, I think I was lucky that this one was not too great of a fighter that I killed over there.
Well, you did quite well yourself.
Oh, that we all handled ourselves pretty well.
Indeed.
Oh, big man, can you? Do you think you can manage to lug that tent along with us? I don't know about the other two here, but I'll sleep with you tonight if it's too rainy or anything like that.
Morgut throws the tent over her shoulder.
You know, we could tie it and make it look like a cape. You like capes?
You know, I think it would actually fit.
Morgut likes that idea.
Well,
I will proceed to try to tie the tent as a cape around Morgut.
No, I'd make you roll a craft, but
I'll do it.
we'll give this one to you.
Okay.
So this a tent is tied as a cape around Morgut, flowing over his shoulders. Yeah. Morgut, you can feel it blow a bit back as a gust of wind picks up.
Well then, I suppose we'd best get onward to the lumber mill.
Agreed. Hopefully we don't cross any more bandits as such.
Well, hopefully if we do, they're as terribly skilled.
Hope we don't find more till I eat these. Morgut hate to waste food.
Ah, yes. Yeah, Reikwald looks a bit concerned as Morgut presumably chomps on something human.
Well,
Bandits don't count.
they're already dead. It doesn't matter.
I suppose.
It's an Archer moment. When they're dead, they're just hookers.
Yep, exactly. Oh man, brutal.
Oh shit! Are you actually going to consume the corpses? I'm assuming so. Are you going to eat one now?
Sounds like it.
Say one for later.
He'll just, for lack of a gentler term, butcher some pieces off and take them with him.
So Morgut, you won't have to
Yep.
do anything. I think everybody else will have to for once, even though you did kill some men, that happens, but you are gonna see this ogre basically treat these guys like cattle.
Yeah, I mean, Christ, I could just imagine
that
him
might be a
chopping
bit
the leg off.
unnerving. So, you've been
Cool.
around Morgut. he doesn't seem like he'd do it to you, but it's still something
He would.
that is a bit unnerving.
I believe that Morgutt would be like a dog. If you die in front of him, trapped in a room, he's gonna eat you.
He would eat you. Make a
Thought that was
cool test at baseline.
What was it? Cool?
Yeah, cool test at baseline.
Oh my.
Oh fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Reinhold doesn't like it.
Yeah, no one's feeling this. Let me look. I don't think that's corruption. I believe there's insanity though. I believe there's still insanity. Otherwise, we might do the corruption. This is a little bit fucked for those of you that don't do this.
Don't eat people. What are you talking about?
They might have removed it. They might have removed insanity, but this will be corruption instead. Then, if that's the case, let me see.
Oh my.
Alright.
I thought corruption was a very, very bad thing.
Corruption is bad.
Super bad.
Well,
Oh,
apparently
psychology.
None of us had long pork before.
Psychology is just after disease infection in the book.
There we are. Okay.
190.
Thank you.
Oh, there's traits as well.
Psychology.
Cool
Okay.
test.
It's a cool test. Oh, so it's normally for... Let's see.
Animosity, hatred,
Trauma.
frenzy,
I think
fear?
this would be trauma of some kind. So you might, I
Okay.
think, disable trauma, flashbacks, animosity. No. So we're gonna say you're inured to this going forward. Being that if this happens again, you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. But let me see. I'll have to think on it. You all failed. I'm thinking we're probably gonna do something where, you,
I mean, like, for example, fear is like -1 success level in all tests to affect the source of your fear, so I guess we're just pretty disturbed by him at this point.
yeah, I would say that
Trauma, yeah.
I don't know when it would actually happen, but I would say you all have fear 1 of Morgutt if he were to ever take an aggressive stance with you at this point.
Cool.
So it would be you'd make a cool test -10 if Morgutt bullied you, I think. Or if you got the intention that he if he was gonna be aggressive with you, like
I feel like Reinwald already thinks that anything happened to Morgutt will eat him. I think he's confident
so
in that.
no corruption, but I think we're gonna
Yeah.
I think we are gonna do that.
Reinwald isn't happy for any kind of issue with Morgutt, so
Why do you think I keep giving him money?
I know, right?
So yeah, I think everybody might have a slight fear of ogres actually now.
That's fair.
Shit, probably, yeah.
I mean, I feel like Reinwald probably thinks
Yeah.
Morgutt's a pretty good example.
Mark it in there. Mark it on your sheets. The fear of ogres for everybody that failed, which is everyone except Morgutt, because Morgutt didn't test against eating flesh. So you have fear against ogres. It would basically be just a baseline cool test if you ever faced an ogre in combat or you suffer from fear.
Cool. Oh yeah, there's psychology and everything in there. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, they just made it traits instead of insanity, which is fine. So yeah, everybody.
Now, Morgutt's not real good at this sort of thing, but I'm gonna roll a fellowship to see if Morgutt notices.
Sure. Have a +20.
No, he has no clue that you guys are bothered at all.
You're too easy.
Oh god.
Also fitting.
Yeah,
He's sitting there fucking chops the guy's leg. Or, well, he doesn't have a fucking knife. He just rips the leg off at the base.
I would let Morgutt describe it, but yeah, I mean that sounds about right.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys just all witnessed this ogre basically pull a man apart to eat. You can all describe how you feel as we get ready to move forward.
Yeah,
with seeing
Reikwald is
that.
not having it. He's quite happy to start leading the way proper now. Although there are quite a few glances backwards, you know, and then he gets that out of the corner of his eye, sees more chomp on a leg or a piece of face or something, and kind of is like, you know, bit of a shudder as he kind of continues on a bit quicker.
The meat on the cheeks is tender.
Yep, alright. Oh,
Well, I could have gone all day without seeing that.
oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be sleeping under the stars tonight.
So you all march along down the roadway towards the lumber camp as you hear the occasional crunch of bone and meat from MORGUTT. You do end up arriving. It is one more night spent, perhaps restlessly for some. Since there was one more night of sleep before you guys arrive, you're about midday the next day. MORGUTT, you can go ahead and test endurance plus 20 to see if you heal those last couple points of damage overnight.
Thought it was to pass whatever he ate.
Yeah. No, that's not something ogres have to worry about ever. Yes, you are at full at this point, I believe. It would be, I believe it is whatever your toughness plus success level is, so.
Success level plus your toughness bonus.
Yep. Yep, there it is, healing. Alright, so you do end up arriving at the lumber camp. And you come upon it. As you're approaching, you do see a couple of lumberjacks out knocking over, trying to chop down a few of the trees that are just outside of their camp. But the camp appears very heavily fortified. There's actually things of lumber that have been stacked up. The edges sharpened even, kind of as barricades. There are more men walking around, some of them with bow and arrows rather than their axes out, and they seem to be patrolling actually, and they look at you when you initially approach and draw back the bows, and then recognize people and humans among you. Who are you supposed to be?
Well, I am Rainer. This is DORATHI, KRUGER, MORGUTT. We were sent to deal with your problem of missing lumber folk.
Looks around. What you mean? And you would know that it was for missing shipments.
Oh, missing shipments. Oh, I thought some of these guys had gone missing. Oh,
Missing shipments.
oh okay, yeah. So that's what he says, the missing shipments and such.
Of course, Katzenberger's worried about his wood. One of them chuckles at that. Fine. Go on in. Big fellow over there by the tents. He's keeping it all together.
Good.
And, he's larger man, probably a head taller than most. Obviously not MORGUTT, but definitely taller than the average 5'10" of the Empire men. And he's looking over a few wagons and scratching his chin. He turns and sees you approaching. Faces I haven't seen before.
Indeed. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Rainer. You are?
Oh, Ernwolf. I suppose I'm in charge of these men.
I see. So then you would be the one to talk to about the missing shipments, yes?
I wondered when they would send someone. Flow of commerce, after all, works out. I would like to get the shipments out. It's money for my bread, but we're having a bit of issue.
Yes, I would assume it has something to do with... He kind of looks over and half-heartedly points over the men with bows wandering about, seemingly on edge. Yes?
Well, there are always beasts here that give us trouble. The Reikwald is old, but there have been greenskins in the area. Organized ones, in fact.
Yes, well, I say we've actually had an encounter with them in the past, but they've been taking your shipments, I assume.
No, taking our lives, more like. I don't really know why they haven't barreled down on the camp yet, but they've been making attempts, attacking logging parties, waylaying men. The last shipment I tried to send out the road, they ran them down. Cut them to pieces. We heard them scream all night.
But they haven't just killed you all.
I am trying to make sense of it myself. I've fought in the state troops. I've come into contact with greenskins before, but I don't know what their plan is. They normally just rush in and tear men folk to pieces, eat them, use them as slaves. But they just seem content to pull us apart here. I don't understand.
And they don't seem to be taking the shipments. You just haven't been able to get them out, it sounds?
Oh, they took the wood that we tried to send, but he kind of gestures over to the stacks. If that was their goal, it wouldn't offer much resistance.
Well, that's strange. Anything else stand out about them?
They move in ways that are cunning. I don't really know how else to put it. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I would think we were fighting men.
Well, that's not good. That sounds quite concerning, actually. Can't say I've fought greenskins much before, but the last time we dealt with them, it was a pretty violent affair. They didn't strike me as the cunning sort, although they did ambush a caravan.
They have a certain low cunning, but they are brutes through and through. Looks about. You're welcome to try to get the shipments out, but that wouldn't solve all of our issues, I'm afraid. A fourth of my number are missing or dead. Can't keep this up for much longer, even if it gets us in hot water back in the city.
And how many of them did you say there were?
I wish I knew. Enough to keep us hemmed in and pick off our logging parties. Points over. We've had to stick to trees just around the camp instead of going deeper in for the better lumber. This is all... well... it's all tainted by might.
Reikwald kind of looks to the others. Well, I don't suppose you have any ideas, aside from scouting them.
And I think that's maybe the only thing we can do, really.
Yes. And he kind of looks back again. And you haven't found... do you know where they might be coming from in particular?
I have a theory based on what some of my men said.
Oh,
He waves you to fall over your shoulder.
yeah, Reikwald does.
He steps to the top of the makeshift palisade they have set up and kind of points to the west. Out in that direction of the camp, there's an old cave. Had some bones out about it. We thought it might be a grizzly's hideout. Didn't wish to disturb it. Better to let sleeping animals lie, you know. Maybe there. I'd hate to send you into a grizzly cave, but I fought against them. I admit I don't know as much as I'd like about their plans. I only know how to kill them, honestly.
Interesting. You said the wood is a problem with mites. Is it dry?
Well, some of the wood around here is just poor quality. Pests get to it first. A lot of the insides rotted or chewed away. We've hit a couple of trees and had them nearly fall on top of us.
That sounds perfect. Well, I don't suppose you could have your men gather up a couple of sacks of it, and some kindling as well. The most, yes, something quite sand-like almost. Brittle wood.
You can have as much brittle wood as you want. There's also some bits and pieces there. We've been using it for campfires, but we try to keep the fires out at night now.
That makes sense. Well then, he kind of turns to the others. I suppose we had best scout it then, yes? Do they attack mostly at night?
All times of day. We don't have many... We have no one go out at night, but... Usually it's... Well, anyone who really leaves the camp, any time of day, really. I'm not certain how far their reach is, but any time we've sent someone away or someone's wandered away to relieve themselves beyond the camp walls, we don't see them again.
Interesting, then. They let us approach.
I can't speak for their intent, but...
So, has anyone been able to make it back? Do you have any survivors?
We had one man survive one of their attacks. I could take you to him, but we haven't been able to get word out of him for some time.
Well, I can certainly try sweet talk our way into his good graces, but if we can, maybe he might be able to tell us about a little something more about them.
Good idea.
Petter's normally a kind man, but you'll have to forgive him for his current mood. You'll understand why when you see him. Bet you to follow, and there's a tent that kind of splayed out more towards the center of the camp. Actually, it's surrounded by other tents. Petter, there are some men that are going to speak with you. I'm going to open the tent flap. See like a grunt coming from inside. You see a man in lumberjack gear inside, an axe leaned up against a pack that's near a bedroll, and he's laid out on it. You can see rather plainly that the man is missing both of his legs, and he has his hands folded over his chest. 2 fingers are gone from his left hand. Can't you see I'm trying to sleep? What you bloody want?
Well, I apologize for disturbing you, but we wish to take care of this orc problem you seem to have.
Not gonna be my problem soon enough when they roll into this place and kill all of us.
And yet they haven't done that. It's quite odd, isn't it?
I don't claim to know any mind of greenskins.
Neither do I. But you've seen them in action. If you can tell us anything, we might be able to help.
He kind of looks back. Ask your questions.
Kind of looks to Dorothy and the others. Well, I suppose first off, if you have any idea where they might be, or what they've been doing.
Not a fucking clue.
Well. And their number?
Was 5 of them that came upon me and my mates when we were cutting down some trees. 3 of the little ones. The little one is about yay high, about as tall as I am now. And then, larger one, about as big as you, but twice as broad. And then he kind of points past at Morgutt. There was one almost big as him, yelling at them in that feral language. He's the one that cut off my legs and made me crawl back.
They just left you.
Not for making me watch them butcher my friends.
They made you crawl back. Did they tell you to go? Did they say anything?
I heard them all laughing. I think they thought I'd bleed to death. I'm from Sterling. I've seen worse fucking shite than this. Just never had it done to me. Sigmar can't have me yet.
Sounds quite dire.
You said they came up behind you, but they weren't making any ruckus.
All I heard was my axe hitting the tree. And my friend Frederick cried out, turned to look, and they were there upon us. Startling. I'd never seen them before, but I always heard they make a big ruckus. Thought we'd have time to get our things and run. They were on us. Like that.
These are actual greenskin orcs. Anything different about them you noticed?
Never seen a normal one to compare. They had armor, they're green, ugly, big ugly weapons. And they spoke in a different tongue when they spoke to one another. But they could speak Reikwald. That was a bit strange to me.
They could, really.
It was ugly, and he ruined more than half the words he spoke, but it was Reikwald, clear as day.
And what exactly was it they were saying?
I said something to the effect of crawl back, Yumi. Crawl back and die. That's it.
Quite nasty. He kind of looks to the other guy. What was it again? It was something wolf?
Ernwolf.
Ernwolf. Ernwolf, I don't suppose you could spare a few axes.
We've got some axes without owners, so you're welcome to take them.
I suppose so.
Right. Look at the guy. Hey, chap, where'd you say you were from again?
Sterling. Heard of it?
I haven't, but if you're one of the Tough old bastards that crawled out of there. You do your country proud, I say.
We've been dealing with a lot worse than greenskins for a long time. I came here to get away from all that. But I suppose now I get to go home. Be somebody's snack. He spits on the ground.
Well, we're here to hopefully change that, so you well, hopefully make it back home without getting too friendly with the locals if you drift.
Yes, indeed. Anything else you think might be useful to us?
Go for the head. Don't know what you're expecting me to say. I never fought nothing. Not like them anyhow. Just things that come back from the dead.
My, well, hopefully we just have to deal with the greenskins then. Alright.
Wouldn't want to see one of those dead fuckers. Well, unless he stayed dead.
Alright then. Well, I think I have an idea. Kind of turns to DORATHI, KRUGER, and MORGUTT. MORGUTT. You think you can chop down a tree pretty quickly? Make a lot of noise doing it?
Sure, Morgutt can do this.
Well, I think we have a start. Alright. And we'll do keep a good eye out. And as I said, if you could have your men gather up the wood we'll need.
Ernwolf, just a quick question there. Are your men that you sent out getting attacked at different places? Or are they all kind of concentrated in one place?
Well, most of the men that I sent out, I sent west. That's why I was thinking maybe it was the cave, but can't say for certain. Of course, you know the road is back east, and we heard them getting mugged and mobbed. Something horrible.
They don't have to be worrying about that anymore.
I hope not.
Well then, how about this? We have Morgutt go out a little bit to the west, farther away from the camp than you've been cutting, to some decent wood. Chop down at the tree, the rest of us lie in wait, and we can at least watch for where they come from, and ambush them when they do.
Well, I think at least one other person should be with Morgutt. They seem to be smarter than the average orc. They might think it's a trap.
Perhaps. Sure. I'm no good with an axe. Besides, I'd be far more useful in the shadows, I think.
Oh, definitely you. I suppose it's either me or KRUGER, and I don't think KRUGER'd be the type to be wielding an axe of sorts, so I guess it's... I look over to Morgutt. It's just you and me again, big man.
Morgutt hefts an axe.
Hopefully this goes well, and then we can scout the cave come night.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Very well. And Ernwolf, as I said, a couple of bags of the tinder and sawdust and such, and then, if you could, a good pile of wood to burn as well. Something that'll put off a good bit of smoke, perhaps, if you can prepare that.
What do you intend to do? I would hate to send men to their deaths. Even more so with precious wood that we may slip out one day.
Well, I mean, seeing as the other option is to wait for them to just pick you off and eat you alive, or chop your legs off, I think we might be looking at the best option. If we can figure out whether the cave has another entrance or not, we could simply smoke them out. Or, block the entrance off and kill them with the smoke, I guess. Burn them out. We'd have to wait, of course, until they head back in.
I think Morgutt had a good point there. How about we catch one and talk to him? Got any game nets there?
Yes. If you think you can knock one out without killing it, that would be quite useful.
I make promises.
Well then. Alright, I suppose we get started then.
You'll have everything you need from me. If you can sort this out, you'll have my thanks, and apparently that of Lord Katzenberger.
Quite nice.
He produces everything that you requested. A couple axes, the tinder, and some firewood.
Cool.
Did he have a game net at all?
Low or high? We'll see if you can find one.
Low.
Yes.
Perfect. Catch us an orc.
What's that?
You want to catch us an orc?
Catch an orc. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you can have a game net. We'd probably catch a man up, and it might not cover him entirely, but it would give him some struggle.
Just need Morgutt to him go nighty-night, and if I can throw a game net, fuck his shit up.
Alright.
I suppose we head out to trap some Greenskins.
Okay. Alright, so you head out to the west of ways. Let me go ahead and bring this one up here. So to the west a ways. And how are you going to set this up exactly? So you can see the map.
Yeah, so I imagine...
There's like a small clearing, so you can kind of... This is in the general area where they believe the cave is.
Okay. Yeah, so... I suppose we'll have, Dorothy and Morgutt, let's see, we want to get an angle where we can ambush from. So I guess if we have them start cutting these two trees here, like right between those two, cut those down, have Reikwald kind of in the brush here, over like this, up inside of there. Up inside of that, yeah.
Okay.
And
So they're cutting these trees?
Across the way, like over there.
Hmm.
Maybe in the tree. Oh, you know what? In fact, yeah, Reikwald's gonna kind of get in this tree here. Get in some nice cover up, not super high, but enough that they probably wouldn't notice if they were just looking around.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you want the net?
Reikwald's not... I mean, he's not super great with that kind of thing, I don't think, but... given the fact they'd probably get some kind of bonus from, like, dropping it on him out of nowhere, I suppose that's worth it. Yeah, so Reikwald will take the net.
Okay. So you and KRUGER are hiding. KRUGER, you're going across from where Reikwald is, or are you staying somewhere else?
He'll go across.
Okay. So you can set yourself, however.
Yeah, that way, right, so we can have one here. Oh, I can't draw. I don't know.
And so they're cutting
popping up?
these
Oh,
trees.
now it's popping
Yep.
up. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. Let me delete that. So have... Oh, it went green again. Why is it doing that? So have KRUGER there, Reikwald there, have them cut at these two here, and then hopefully have them come in through a sensible route to ambush them, right? Seeing as their backs are to the clearing, they're cutting at these two trees, you know, that makes sense. That's, if you were, like, trying to, you know, not get ambushed, that's the way you would do it, right? Because that way they won't come from the clearing, because it'll be obvious. So hopefully they'll funnel right past underneath us to try and get at them. And then we can spring on them.
Okay. So you can go ahead and set up that way. DORATHI and MORGUTT cutting these trees, I guess. And then you two, KRUGER and Reikwald, go ahead and roll. I believe there's a stealth.
Yeah, for sure.
Stealth plus... it's going to be stealth, and it's going to be at the standard plus 20.
Standard 20, cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Sneaky boy.
Well,
Less sneaky boy. I mean, you've got a 58. That's not bad. I mean, this might be one to reroll luck on. Or fortune, I mean.
He still has it.
If you still have any, yeah.
no, I had 3, right? So I used 1.
Mm-hmm.
How do they replenish?
They replenish every session, so yeah.
Yeah, we will use 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 5, so I'm trying to make sure I don't forget to use it. I put all 5 in that and 1 in resilience.
Oh my, very sneaky.
Oh, there you go. Oh my. Sneaky gobos. Oh man, nice. Uh-oh. I don't like that name.
So...
Is it going to be 2 goblins, an orc, and a fucking troll or something? And it's going to be like our mirrored parties fighting
I don't
our
know.
rivals.
So, Reikwald and KRUGER, you both see it from your hiding spaces first. You see a group of greenskins kind of coming up through the woods. They're not being sneaky at all. In fact, you hear them before you see them. You wonder if maybe some lumberjacks came out or something, but you hear them before you see them. And the one at the head is huge. He is probably about as tall as MORGUTT is.
Ooh.
And he's got an axe hefted over his shoulder. His hair, this really crude Reikwald, comes from his mouth. Oi, biggun! He's kind of looking towards MORGUTT.
What you want?
Why are you out here chopping trees with your little man slave?
Other men give money for wood.
What's big on like you chopping wood for? You could just take money.
MORGUTT looks like he's contemplating that.
Reikwald, in the meanwhile, are you able to, like, get advantage beforehand for, like, an ambush or something?
You would get a surprise round, basically, if this were to turn to a combat.
So let me see. Okay, so right off the bat, I'd probably get one for, like, charging if I did something. Okay.
Now, you are up in a tree.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I would make you probably do something for that if you're coming down on a charge, just because I didn't make you do anything because you had time to do that before. But
yeah, Reikwald's idea is mainly to, like, use the net on one of the gobos and then kind of drop in. But, I mean, he was thinking of trying to get a read on this guy, look for any openings on Biggin.
I mean, you can look him over pretty easily. I mean, he's right below you. You see he is very big. He's probably 9 feet tall at least, but just stacks upon stacks of muscle. He's got a very crude looking two-handed axe on his kind of over his shoulder. It looks disgusting, like it's covered in muck and grime and filthy, but it is jagged. And he's got a little bit of armor on as well, mainly on the shoulders, but all over his body basically he's got different metal plates.
Concerning. Okay. So yeah, Reikwald kind of signals KRUGER to kind of wait until they're a bit closer up to MORGUTT, and then go in on the goblin. He kind of points to. He kind of continues watching for now, seeing the exchange between them.
So after appearing to think for a moment, MORGUTT responds, easy to cut trees. Trees don't fight back.
Bah, you's afraid of fighting.
No, MORGUTT not afraid. You's been eating the humans?
Yeah. Big Boss been eating humans. Big Boss heard from one of these little runts you was out here and thought, why not get another big one? But if he's scared of fighting...
Steps forward. MORGUTT not scared fight. MORGUTT like fight.
When it comes fights with us, orcs is about fighting and winning. Not like little weak yumis. He just kind of gestures the axe towards DORATHI, not seeing that you got the turban on. He just thinks you're the man.
What you guys doing? Just killing eating?
Just killing eating. Boss says Big Boss wants us out here causing trouble. Keeps telling Boss what to do. Big Boss coming down soon. Real soon.
MORGUTT scratches his head, looks confused. Got two boss?
Yeah, there's Boss. Boss here. Big Boss somewhere else.
My boss here, listen boss there.
'Cause Boss there bigger than Boss here. And Boss there got big flappy thing that burns people. He real strong. Proper get smash everything here in this puny empire. When he gets around to it.
Boss here like.
Boss here bigger than you. Boss here, he get hurt. Couple of hours, he ain't hurt no more. Strong. Only orc will beat me, ever.
You big orc? Him bigger?
Yeah, bigger. All
See-
talk making my head hurt.
Never seen bigger orc than you.
You wanna meet him? Then I'll give you a choice. Smash that puny Yumi and come along with us instead.
And almost as if on that cue, yeah, Reikwald's gonna kind of signal KRUGER to go, and as he sees KRUGER get ready to go in on his goblin, he'll drop the net on this one.
Alright.
As if he has that kind of nagging image of the of Morgott eating a leg earlier on and stuck in his head, and he's like, I don't know if he would or not. Let's not give him the chance to think about it.
I want everybody to remember what you wanted to do, because as Reikwald springs into action, Dorothy prepares to throw his axe, and KRUGER's gonna do KRUGER things. The scene's gonna fade to black, and we'll pick it up with some combat next time.
Bum, 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 bum. Well, it's
KRUGER
not a win
things.
yet.
KRUGER things.
Hey, we did it.